We're back in the kitchen and we're making chickpea tuna salad. This is one of my favorite recipes. I've got Andrew hooked on it completely. This is in addition to our Simple Staples series, which I'm so excited for you guys to all watch. If you haven't watched all of our series, check it out on IGTV. And today you are watching series episode 5. It is the final of the Simple Staples and it's perfect. It is great for meal prep. It is great as a lunch for your kids. It is a great substitute if you're not eating tuna or fish. It's packed with protein. It has essential carbohydrates as well. And it's really easy, hence why it's a part of the Simple Staples package. So we're gonna get started. We have our chickpeas in a bowl, strained and rinsed. I forgot a masher, so we're gonna be using a spoon, but this is completely possible. We're just gonna use our spoon to release all of our anger towards these chickpeas and just mash them up really nicely. This shouldn't take too long. Don't overmash. You do not want a puree. You do not want a mashed potato. You just want them chunky enough to absorb all of the beautiful ingredients we're going to be adding to the bowl. Some people get a little weird about this recipe and remove the skins of the chickpea. I don't have time for that. I don't really have time to be removing skins of chickpeas. That's where all the nutrients live, in my opinion. It's not a tahini. We don't need it to be ultra smooth. We want it to be chunky and delicious. So we're just going to do that. So once we have the consistency we're looking for, we can go in with the rest of the ingredients. You'll kind of know you're there when everything kind of starts to stick together-ish while still having a few whole chickpeas lying around. And your arm might hurt, and you might be cursing my name. And you might wish that you just used a masher, which you could, you just don't have one. How lush and perfect. Let's go in with our mayo. We're using 2 large heaped tablespoons of vegan mayo. Use whatever mayo you have on hand, you have access to, you can afford. There is no wrong way of doing this. But of course, if you're maintaining a plant-based diet, use something vegan. No waste, so try and get it all off. Gonna go in with nutritional yeast, cheesy element, really fun, fortified with B12, great flavor, also vegan. Okay, so kind of get a stir going-ish. Now we're gonna add in a healthy fat. Teaspoon or 2 of olive oil. This olive oil is from my grandmother's village. So good. It is pure at its finest. We go in with some heat, pepper. You could go in with some red chili flakes here, but I'm just wanting to show you guys the base level recipe and how you can have fun with it at home. So from here you could add things like capers, which I love, but I'm gonna use pickles instead. I'm going in with some flaky salt right now. I'm a salty kind of gal, so just go in with as much as you think. But of course, our recipe lives on foodbymaria.com, so you can go follow along there and adjust it as you please. So what's happened now, because there's mayo in here, it kind of becomes easier to mash up a bit because everything is really well married. They stuck together. So now I'm gonna go in with my favorite ingredient on the planet, lemon. Okay. Half a lemon for now because I've got this awesome tool that helps me basically not waste any of the lemon, which is so good. So we'll give that a taste in a bit and see how we're doing. Now I want to add 1 clove of garlic. This is really easy, such a nice tool. Great when you're in a hurry and you don't want to sit and chop and skin garlic. Obviously this is Simple Staples, so I want everyone to feel like they can make everything in a time efficient manner. I know that kids are back at school if that's what you chose to do. So this is a really easy way to get lunches on the kiddos' desk while they're eating. Obviously great if you've chosen to homeschool too. These are really fun recipes to make with your kids, so you could have a lot of fun with that as well. The recipe calls for red onion. If you are making this for your children and they're sensitive to red onion, there's a quick trick that I learned. Just put the red onion in some warm water for like 30 minutes before using, and that helps remove some of the pungency. Can become a little more tolerable. I suffered with IBS for a really long time, and red onion was genuinely something that I just had to avoid because it made me have the worst stomach cramps and pains. And now where I'm in a better place with my digestion, this no longer bothers me. Of course, I'm still sensitive to it at any time, but not nearly as bad as I used to be. Okay, so we're just gonna get a nice little chop. I'm gonna go in with what looks like a 1/4 cup right now, and then we'll see if that's enough. And while I'm chopping, I'm gonna grab these little pickles, which are gonna bring brine, salt, acid, sweetness. I'm gonna do quite a bit of these, so we'll just see what happens. Probably do around another 1/4 cup, which will be perfect. And I'm actually just remembering that my hair is still up and I look like my mother in like the 80s, which I'm totally down with. I just have so much and I hate cooking with it down because it ends up in my face. Give the pickle, cornichon, whatever you want to call it, a rough chop. Get it into a bite size. You want it to sort of be in every bite that you have. So the smaller the better. Not tedious though. If you get bored, you're over it, just throw it in the bowl. It does not matter, I promise you. Simple staples are about the flavor being delicious and easy. Doesn't need to look perfect. I promise you it will taste perfect. Okay, so we got another 1/4 cup. Toss them in, and we're gonna go in for a taste test and just see where we're at. Uno momento, grabbing myself a fork. I'm trying it. It's good. At first test, we need salt. Wasn't quite enough. There's more than I imagined. Okay, we need more lemon. Can never go wrong with lemon, I promise you. So this is basically just for me, hence why it's okay for me to taste it. I'm gonna go in again, but because I'm sharing with Mr. Eli, I'm gonna grab a little bowl. Let me try again. It's got the perfect amount of mayo, pickle, and oh yeah, this is banging. So what we're gonna do is make ourselves a small little sandwich. I've got my favorite sourdough. So you can make a sandwich. I'm not that hungry right now, so I'm just gonna do like a toast. So treat this like you would avocado. I have deep water greens that I'm just gonna place on the base, which are so nice. It's baby kale. So this is a nice element of greenery, and it's actually a good barrier between the bread and the moist mixture. You just don't want the bread to go too soft, right? So we're just gonna pop that on, and I'll get you guys a nice close up here in a sec. Trying not to make a massive mess, classic Maria style. So I'll let Eli come right in close here. So totally unideal because look it, I overdid it. But basically, eat this as a piece of toast. You're getting your protein, getting some carbs, you're getting all that flavor. It's a great snack. I use it to dip in crackers. You can use it in things like wraps. I'm trying to think of other ways. Oh, we've made quinoa salads and we've added this in before. It's just a really nice source of protein and it's yum, 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 yum. Adapt it, have fun with it, do what works for you. You can find the full recipe right now on foodbymaria.com and let us know what you think. Oh, and I forgot to mention, sorry. If you are allergic to chickpeas, just use another legume. Things like lentils would be perfect, or a white bean. Over and out, my friends. We'll see you on the other side. Check us out on foodbymaria.com to find all our simple staple recipes. Bye.